Agent Bonnet. Hear about that knife business again? Agent Bonnet. Hear about that knife business again? It's getting a bit old now, don't you think?
Why didn't you say anything about the expedition?
They were tragic events. Best forgotten.
Well, start remembering, because my serial killer is tied into them somehow.
Really? What an idea.
Yes, I also think that you hindered the investigation by withholding important information.
Well now, I can see you're here on business.
I'm always here on business. Don't you know the victims are all on a list?
Well, it's possible, I suppose.
It's possible, but you and Branford could be on that list. Aren't you afraid?
What good would fear do? Understand. I settled up with my conscience long ago.
When? When Fairbanks was killed? Or only after Tatum was?
You think it's so easy? And you, little girl, hiding behind an FBI badge. Do you think about all the people slaughtered somewhere in the cold and dark without your knowing?
Yes, and I hate it. I wake up mornings thinking that today someone else will die, and I can't stop it. Now it's even worse. I know who's gonna die.
Not all of them will.
Yeah?
Juan Alvarado, an archaeologist living in Cusco. He didn't join us until Peru.
Juan Alvarado? You keep in touch with him?
Not really.
Were there other people involved in the expedition?
Yes, Vaquero.
Go on.
Vaquero was a local grave robber, an amateur. He appeared when we were totally devastated and on the retreat, offering his help.
And
then he demanded an outrageous payment, and we parted ways with great ill will. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an important call to make.
it's good we met. Are you waiting for Warren?
We're going out, although I'd prefer to go with you to the concert.
Well, maybe when I finish this case.
I can hardly wait.
I found out a little more about the Peruvian expedition 20 years ago. Do you, keep in touch with Mr. Alvarado?
No, not for a very long time, but we used to be friends. Why is he of interest to you?
The murders are all occurring within a specific group of people, and Alvarado's part of it.
Yes. Yes, he is. Do you think he could be the murderer?
Well, I don't have any proof to that end.
Do you think then that it's a Koga Pachiros Indian curse?
No.
Neither do I, but if our murderer was on this expedition, and if it's neither Warren nor myself, then it must be Alvarado?
Why should I suspect a man who lives in Peru of murdering people in New York?
Alvarado was in town at the same time, of course.
What? In New York City? Are you sure?
He called me. I was frightened he was trying to track me down.
Do you know where he is now?
He left a message that he was returning home, back to Peru. I hope it's true.
We'll look into it. Do you have his address?
Well, he sent me a letter postmarked in Manhattan. Had a photo of his house in Cusco in it with the address and a note. I showed it to Warren this morning.
Could I see it, please?
Well, here's the thing. There was a bit of a mess in the museum this morning. They were cleaning the showpieces that hang from the ceiling, and I had to literally push my way through between them. It must have been squeezed out of my pocket then.
Right. I'll find it. Ruth? Nicole.
Yes?
I need you to check South American flights out of the country in the last 5 days. Looking for a Juan Alvarado, archaeology professor, flying to Cusco, Peru.
Okay, I'll get right on it.
Thanks, Ruth. Mr. Brantford's waiting for you outside.
Thank you. I'll be leaving now. You're staying here?
This pavilion is such a magical place.
You sound just like Alan. But I'm glad. It's a good thing.
Creating something like that must require so much talent.
And 20 years of hard work.
And one day, Haquero arrived and wanted to destroy all this.
This again, eh? No, in the beginning he even seemed friendly.
And then, he wanted to destroy your reputation and you couldn't get rid of him. So he blackmailed you?
What makes you think that?
I found traces of a drug stash down there.
Such a dirtbag. He defiled everything with his dirty little hands.
So he came here to demand his blackmail money?
You know, during the expedition we found a couple of shells of insignificant value and some old Spanish coins. Back then we were young and stupid. We invited tragedy. When the rain started and we realized we wouldn't be able to find the professor, we just wanted to get home as fast as we could. And Vaquero said that because of the diggings, we would have to negotiate with corrupt pen pushers for weeks.
He helped you smuggle items out?
Yes. Oh, they were objects of little significance, and I soon forgot about them.
Did he also smuggle drugs inside exhibition pieces?
No, never. He pushed me to, but I never allowed it.
Did he pressure the others too?
I thought that he murdered them to get at me.
Why didn't you inform the authorities?
What are you talking about? I spoke to your man Chaser about the whole thing.
Chaser, yes, of course. Did you find the legendary city in the end?
Akakor? Well, we thought so, back then. But we couldn't go back again. It all seems like a dream.
Last thing, are you sure you don't want protection?
Thank you, no. This place is swarming with police. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an important call to make.
Here, an antique house in Cusco, hence the dedication.
Nicole?
Yeah, hi Ruth.
Alvarado left the country already. Hopped a flight to Peru.
Uh-huh, that's great, thanks. Listen, is the chief there?
Not at the moment.
You know what? Book me 2 tickets on the next plane to Cusco, Peru. Visas for me and Nick, and a hotel.
Be cheaper if you share a room.
Leave me alone.
Does Nick know about all this?
Not yet. I'll call him now.
Okay.
Thanks, Ruth.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Nick, we're going to Peru with this serial killer thing. Call me or Ruth back ASAP. Don't let me down on this.